Welcome back to part 3, and without further ado, let's continue with the refutation.
And no, attributes are not persons, so once again, you got bait.
I never said that attributes were persons. I said the metaphysical rationale that exists for the Son and the Spirit was adopted by the Muslims and used for the attributes. Your mind is baked, improve your comprehension skills.
You could even tell him the energies of God are either God or other than God.
I'll make a video on the energies doctrine in the future, but here I'll simply say that the principles I'm applying to his theology do not apply to mine. The energies are not real distinct entitative things that subsist in God's essence. He has no idea what the heck he's talking about.
So one could say that God has infinite ontologies, according to Jay Dyer. Funny enough.
Jake got you to admit that there's infinite ontologies in God. Why would that be a problem in our system?
And why exactly is this relevant? He's not a scholar of orthodoxy. He's an online apologist. Not to discredit him or anything like that, but I'm not beholden to his opinion at all. I want you all to notice the hypocrisy. In my original video, I cited a PhD scholar's research on Ahmed ibn Hanbal, and I also cited Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, an Islamic scholar, who also has his doctorate by the way, and this guy arbitrarily dismissed the two of them for literally no reason. But this is the same guy who mentioned Tertullian, a heretic who's neither a saint nor a church father, and now Jay Dyer, an internet apologist. You're without a doubt the most intellectually bankrupt, arbitrary, and two-faced person I've ever seen on this app. And according to Hanbal, you can't use reason to prove otherwise.
Read the entire page, and read the page after. The Christians said what is meant by Father is God, the Son as knowledge, and the Spirit as life. You don't believe that, do you?
Well, it depends on how you're formulating it. We make a distinction between the persons and eternal manifestation. The Son is not ontologically identical to the faculty of knowledge or will. That would be to collapse essence, energy, and personhood all into the same category. Rather, the Son has a unique mode, or tropos, by which he exemplifies the Father's divine knowledge in an only begotten way. All the divine attributes are from the Father, through the Son, and in the Spirit, completely different from your theology.
Historically, the eminent Logos in Philo, as well as the eminent wisdom or spirit in the wisdom of Solomon, is a Jewish version of the Platonic or Stoic world soul. He then says, here is a direct statement to the effect that the soul in Neoplatonism holds the same position as the Holy Spirit in Christianity.
You might want to read a little closer there, buddy. In the source that you cited, he says that we can discern a direct influence of Paul's theology of the Spirit to the wisdom of Solomon, which is part of the Orthodox Old Testament, and he also says that Paul's theology of the Son may be ultimately traced back to that same Old Testament. And again, in the very same page that you displayed, the Church Fathers took these connections as conceptual as opposed to historical. They didn't see their theology as coming from the Greeks, but that the Greeks arrived at similar concepts. In case you weren't aware, the Old Testament is older than the Neoplatonic tradition. Neoplatonism has concepts that are analogous but still different from those seen in Christianity. This isn't an issue whatsoever. If all people are created by God, it shouldn't be surprising that you can find some commonalities in different religions, whether morally and even metaphysically. Peter Schaeffer says that the Christianity of the New Testament and the early Church Fathers was adopted from Jewish monotheism, specifically the monotheism that had developed in the post-exilic period of Israelite history. The New Testament took hold of these Jewish concepts and expanded them further. He also says that all the core Christological premises that are upheld in Christianity are by no means pagan, but rooted in Second Temple Judaism. But in the case of your theology, it is directly cribbed from Trinitarianism. Cope.